Hi everyone, I'm Andrew Chen and welcome to the second look. In the previous video, we spoke about careers after pro gaming and the typical age where you become a pro gamer. In this topic, we're going to talk about schedules, methods a pro gamer use to improve their gaming skills, and last but not least, annual calendars for a pro gamer. Typically, pro gamers train 8 hours to 10 hours a day. It's almost the same as any professional athlete in sports. To be more effective in training, pro gamers and pro teams will have specific training sessions, breaking them down into daily schedules and weekly schedules. What comprises a daily schedule of a pro gamer are screen blocks, individual training, sleeping schedule, meal times, and personal time. So, what is a screen block? A screen block is a training system between two teams. It has no competitive importance. You utilize scrims to test out new strategies and improve your current ones as well against a team of your caliber. Individual training is when you work on your own mechanical skills. Mechanical skill is defined by your mental functions like reaction time, processing speed, and task switching, which are critical to competitive gaming. Next, let's talk about sleep schedule. Based on research, the optimal hours for someone to function properly is 8 hours of sleep. Getting enough sleep has many benefits, such as you get sick less often. Secondly, you can maintain a healthy weight. Besides that, you can think more clearly and do better in games and during training. The final point is you can make better decisions with a clear mind. Your mealtime is as important as your sleep. You are what you eat, you are also when you eat. Eating at the correct times means you do not eat at inconsistent times. Eating in the middle of the night because you are hungry is an example of eating at an irregular hour. Inconsistent meal timings may cause the glucose level in your blood to fluctuate. It becomes easier to gain weight. You may also end up eating food that isn't healthy because you eat whatever you can get on your hands. With the correct and regular meal times, you can stay focused on training for hours with the correct nutrients and also the right level of energy. Personal time is important for your mental health. In order for you to perform at your peak, you need to de-stress. You cannot think about gaming 24 hours a day. You need some time to do something else to relax your brain. In order to not get burned out, you need to do physical exercises often as part of your health regimen. Stretching is also a very important means to avoid injuries. Injuries are often the result of sitting in front of a computer for too long. For weekly schedule, we mainly focus on team development. You have to set a goal to hit in the week. Things like communication, strategies, and chemistry. In terms of communication, what I will work on with my team is the basic call-outs in the game to make sure the team understand what they mean and so they're able to execute in the tournament. You also need to set a strategy to work on in the week. For example, this week we can focus working on the rotation timing, which the team has agreed together and execute in scrims. We also work on the team's chemistry by doing some bonding activities. Sometimes I will bring my team out for an outing session together to build their chemistry by doing something that is out of the game. Scheduling is a part of planning. With a good scheduling or training plan, pro gamers and pro teams can be more productive in terms of training. They can focus improving one aspect of the game in one session, while the other session to fix the weakness of the team. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. A professional gamer's calendar may be separated into 2 to 3 major tournaments depending which esport game title. This affects your seasonal holidays and breaks. Unlike other jobs, a pro gamer's annual leaves and breaks revolve around the tournament seasons for their respective game titles. Typically, it starts from 2 major country tournaments where you can try to win and represent your country at the next stage. 4 weeks before the major is a very crucial time for a pro gamer. This is when you prepare to meet strong opponents. You don't get to take leave during this time for obvious reasons. Your focus has to be 101%. After qualifying for the first major country tournament, you'll be competing with the world's finalists from other countries in an even bigger tournament. This may be a regional tournament. Normally, there will be 1 month break between the major and the international stage. However, pro gamers are usually to come back after 1 or 2 weeks to start training again. On the international stage, teams will be collecting points or trying to qualify for the next big tournament or biggest yearly tournament. For example, World Championship, the International, PUBG Mobile Global Championship. So let's do a recap. In a year, a pro gamer competes in a typical major country tournament league. This may last for about 4 to 8 weeks depending on the game title. If the pro gamers team qualifies, there are 2 major country tournament leagues in a year. Besides that, you would have 2 major regional tournaments. At the year end, there will be the biggest tournament in terms of prize pool, hosted for the world's finest. Not qualifying for the major regional tournaments does not mean it's the end of your career. It means that you have to train harder for the next tournament. When the game ecosystem is right, you will have many opportunities to qualify or win the future tournaments. As a pro player, one has to constantly improve their gaming skill to stay at the top level of the competition. Here's 4 methods a pro gamer may use to improve their gaming skills. First, deliberate practice. Competitive gaming can be taught like high school math. Math has many different types of topics, and once you learn all those topics, you become good at it. Similarly, every game has its own mechanics. Once you learn those mechanics, you become good at the game. To be good at the game, as in truly good at the game, you must learn those mechanics and practice them deliberately. Once you focus learning one mechanic at a time, you will experience exponential growth in your abilities and a better player overall. Secondly, watch replays. As they say, monkey see, monkey do. This saying refers to the learning of a process without an understanding of why it works, also defined as the act of imitation. You could apply this method to improve yourself by watching pro players replay. Besides that, you also have to watch your own replays. You have to analyze your performance sooner rather than later so that it is still fresh in your brain to process. Thirdly, work on your composure. The best pro players in the world all have ice in their veins. This is because they are able to maintain their composure in the midst of immense pressure, a useful trait that allows them to consistently perform at the highest level of their respective games. Maintaining composure is easier said than done, but it is an essential part of taking your abilities to the next level. So if you want to improve, you need to work on your composure. Typically, one can boost one's composure by listening to calm and smoothing music while gaming, or by meditating in your spare time. Last but not least, always learn the meta. Meta is defined as the most effective tactic available. Learning the meta for any game will give you an incredible advantage over the other players in the game. It can be the difference between a win and a loss in a competitive match. Most game titles tend to update frequently to balance the game up, thus the meta will change often. As a pro gamer, you always have to be aware when certain aspects of the meta has been nerfed or buffed. And those are the 4 methods a pro gamer may use to improve their gaming skills. This is Andrew Chen. Thank you so much for attending this loop with me. I hope you now know what are the schedule a gamer has, how they get better at gaming, and how does their annual calendar looks like. See you in the next loop.